Oh, I can't.
You're too kind, Mr. Varka. Truth is, though, I am but a dabbler when it comes to spirits. Yours, my friend, is a truly superior palate.
What did I tell you? You are, without a doubt, my best drinking buddy in all of Nogcry. Ah, traveler! What impeccable timing. Fancy a drink?
I believe something on the milder side would be suitable for you, Mr. Traveler.
Mr. Traveler.
As it happens, Mr. Dimyon is away on business. Allow me to prepare your drink in his stead. What'll it be then? Something sweet? Or perhaps with a little tang to it?
A little tang, or sour, as we normal folk call it.
You seem a little tired. Something tangy to invigorate the senses, maybe. Perhaps a splash of lemon juice.
Can't say I've ever had any sour liquor before. Closest I get is drinking something sour after the alcohol to sober up. Actually, well, now that I think about it, it's been a long time since I tasted Noelle's hangover soup. She'd always toss in wolf hooks and berry juice. My drinking stamina's really taken a hit without it. The thought of it makes me want to head back to Mondstadt.
Here you go. It may be nameless, but I'm confident it'll lift your spirits.
Nameless mention?
Miss Paimon, allow me to present this freshly squeezed juice. I've included a bit of pulp to further enhance its texture.
Yum.
Wow, thank you.
Cute.
Mr. Varka, have a sip of this.
Oh, I get a serving too? What's this? The sobering up round after the party? This is... Oh, the taste of wolf hook. Where did you even get this?
This
When?
is so good.
Your longing for Mondstadt is quite evident, and I happen to have an eye for such subtleties. In any case, I trust that this fruit shall bring you some measure
but
of
where
cheer.
did you get it?
Not bad at all. Shame, though. Can't find anyone else to keep me company on marathon drinking sessions here in Notcry. That said, I don't think you've ever quite drunk your fill.
If you're referring to the experience of being utterly absorbed in exquisite wine, allowing one's thoughts to wander freely and relishing the act of doing so, then I suppose...
After all, Flins is a... I mean, when alcohol meets flame, it...
vanishes without a trace. But while certain robust spirits may ignite a blaze, I can't say it's ever really made me feel that way.
Ha! That's only because the stuff we've got isn't strong enough. Like the fire water from Snezhnaya. You've definitely tried that before, right?
Of course. But it's been some time now, so my recollection has grown faint.
I'll get us a barrel one of these days. Then we can drink to our heart's content.
I shall defer to your judgment, Mr. Varka. First, however, allow me to raise a toast to this most pleasant evening encounter.
Evening? Okay, I guess.
All right. Ha ha ha! Cheers!
It is currently Wednesday, February 25th at the time of recording, and 9 in the morning, so I'm exact opposite end of the day spectrum, but whatever, it's fine. Cute!
Here's to a delightful evening.
Alright, that being said, Bella, welcome back to Genshin. It's been a few... he's gone. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. It is the new update, just came out last night. I just popped in to get it downloaded, and I actually did a bunch of Wua actually instead yesterday, and did started Sitlali quest. I'm very tempted to record that as well. Is that all the... No, we got more. Where... I forget. Nicole! Let's go! Yes. So I thought I'd do some of these new Traveler's Tales, including Nicole and Varka. I didn't know that they'd be the ones I'd get, but thankfully they are, because I love Nicole. And I love that we're getting Varka before he heads back to Mondstadt for his story quest that we're going to start after I knock out however many Traveler's Tales we have. Oh, wait. This is a... Oh, No, she's in the Favonius one. I was like, wait, no, she's not in her actual meeting point. What do you do staring at that poorly rendered, ruined wall? Are you spying on us? Spying on the Favonius camp? And yes, this is still PS4. This is the last update. Genshin will be on PS4 as it was being discontinued. So I will have to move to PC after this, which I did make an account for, thankfully.
Yes, just like that. This will be more than enough to assassinate Varka.
What? You can't just say stuff like that, Nicole. I mean, you can because you're Nicole, but you can't just say stuff like that. That's crazy.
I'm going to assassinate Varka.
I'm asking why you do that. I heard you the first time.
I need ideas for assassinating the Grand Master.
I'm gonna report this to Alice. You know, you were not allowed to hurt the Grand Master. I'm gonna report you.
I went over this with Alice a long while ago. She stands with me, and has even offered several ideas on how I might take him out. Of all her suggestions, this one seemed the most promising. Bring a full cart of Mondstadt's newest dandelion wine all the way here, and then, before Varka's very eyes, tip the entire cart over the cliff.
That's crazy. Wait, we're literally talking how to plan an assassination.
Perhaps the monumental, overwhelming grief will make him collapse, or go drown himself in whatever other wine he can find.
That doesn't sound like it'll work. Wait!
Yeah, no, this is such a bad plan.
Don't even think about doing something so horrible.
When writing a novel, the author, naturally, seeks to be as extravagant as possible, especially when writing detective novels. If the opening lacks a striking turn, how is the rest of the plot meant to unfold?
True.
Alas, this will be my final attempt at writing detective novels. Oh, I suppose they call them crime novels in Inazuma. In any case, they all tell of crime. There's hardly a meaningful distinction. I also discussed it with Barbie, but our novel writing sessions always evolve into crime planning sessions. Methods of crime and puzzles of deduction. We have explored plenty of those, yet the plot would not advance.
Yeah, it's not easy writing an actual story/plot. Puzzles and gameplay are a little easier to write.
The Angel Killer case. Try as they might, the culprit remained elusive. The desperate detective rushed into the crowd, then shouted the revered names of the 4 great rulers at the sky. Whoosh! Pitter-patter. Boom! Detective and murderer reduced to ash.
What kind of writing is that? Doesn't that leave no room for deduction at all?
Of course there is. It was only through painstaking deduction that the detective finally discovered the names of the 4 great rulers, learning also that shouting them at the sky would inevitably reduce one to ash.
We mean using deduction to find the killer.
My point exactly. Simply deducing who the culprit is has become dreadfully unoriginal. The subject of one's deductions must be something more creative. I even thought of having a Seelie detective, an angel who, longing to become a detective, became a Seelie, and by some twist of fate, ended up as a detective's assistant. All Seelies love to guide people, so this one went about leading the detective from case to case. I found the idea rather interesting. Come to think of it, the Seelie detective and the Angel Killer case seem far more interesting than assassinating the Grand Master. Never mind, guess I'll move on to work on that idea then.
I don't know the details you're working through. You're just gonna move on?
It's precisely because I overthink every little detail that I've lost interest in continuing. Not to mention
gosh,
the
that's so
mountain of
relatable.
words I'll have to write. The very thought of penning all those words. Oh, what a hassle. And I can't even get a ghostwriter for this one. I'll just work on the Angel Killer case instead. But how might the detective deduce the truth? Perhaps he could have a conveniently informative dream.
She's so silly. Nope, she's still here.
Silly detective. Hold on. Why not have the Seelie guide that detective to assassinate the Grand Master instead?
Uh-huh. Incredible. Love you, Nicole. Alright, that's it. So we are going to go ahead and start the Varka story quest, because I'm sure I will get spoiled if I don't start it. Yep. These are the ones I have not done, because yay, Albedo's voiced in this, but still quite a few missing. And that Dane is also not voiced in this. And that's what I'm working on. I do think I do want to finish recording that. Yeah. Let's go ahead. 20 days. Triumphant Warrior. Through everyone's united efforts, the Abyssal Calamity in the North seems to have been called. The day of triumph draws near. Alright. Since we're getting to more serious talk, I'm assuming I do have my breakfast in front of me. Hopefully I will remember to mute and unmute myself. A view letter. What? What letter? Did I get a letter? Hello? No. Genshin, why do you do this? How am I supposed to start a quest if you don't tell me how to? Letter carried by the wind. A letter that found its way into your bag at some point. Perhaps it was carried here by the wind. The Traveler. Hey, long time no see, my friend. What's that? You say we just met recently? For a heart that always misses his friends, every second feels like an eternity. And after such a grand adventure in Nodcry, you must have gathered quite a few stories along the way, yes? Are you perhaps looking for an old friend to talk to? Do you happen to need a bard, one who can turn your tales to verse? If so, come and catch up with me at Star Snatch Cliff. The wine is poured and the strings are already tuned.
Oh, it's from the Tone Deaf Bard. Apparently he wants to hear all about our adventures in Nodcry. Maybe we can get some tasty treats out of him in return. Come on, let's go to Star Snatch Cliff.
I love how my brain. Oh, that's parallelism, I'm guessing. Yep. I'm surprised there isn't with how often we go there. That was actually pretty fast loading time. Oh, well, that's convenient. Oh.
Welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Yes.
Well, you sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since Nodcry, but it sounds like you've already heard about what went down.
Because he's such a gossip.
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat and tell me your tale. amazing,
Details into
incredible.
everything that happened in No Cry.
The Rapier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages. So I'm guessing the Wild Hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rapier of Solnari.
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
There are still some vestiges of the Wild Hunt around, but not enough to pose a major threat. Or so we think. For those who watched the special program trailer, yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
I was gonna ask, you two have really met before?
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded kinda like...
Hey! Is that all you've got? Oh, bring it on!
like that.
Hello, new character that we don't know if you're a 4-star or 5-star.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure. Now there's a sight I haven't seen in a while.
A bard in green clothes. Does this mean... Oh, you're Venti? I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
He sounds familiar.
So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight. And Paimon! The Grand Master talks about you all the time. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, Vice Captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Hi, Lohan, you got manners. You're cool.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt. Hey, wait a second. We never saw you in Nodcry either.
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat out of monsters. I barely went back to base at all. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me. Sounds like I missed out on some serious action.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Don't tell me he sent you to...
Deliver some letters.
I was gonna say deliver a letter.
There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just hire a full-time mailman already. In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with... Sir Writes-A-Lot.
Another day, another nickname. Huh, Twin Death Bard.
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. So, tone-deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I consider Sir Writes-A-Lot to be quite a compliment.
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me, I assume he must have a letter for me too. Am I right?
You sure are. To use the Grand Master's own words.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, Ruin Guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it. So, I came right here the second I got back to Mondstadt.
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we happen to be nearby.
So, what does the letter say?
Oh, he also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. But if I'm supposed to write back this time, I'll need some time to mull over my response.
That was the most sus,
Varka gave you a
not
whole
poker
bunch
face.
of letters to
There's something
deliver,
serious
right?
going on, like, bro.
Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and deliver the rest of them first?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition days.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends of yours, too.
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guide.
The Abyss. The Wild Hunt. Andreas. Get home safe, Varka.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden? Is someone talking about me? Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted. Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few targets, and then we will make our triumphant return!
Playable Varka! Woo! I don't know how to play you. Oh, that's very simple, I gotta say. Also, Varka, like, I get it that they want you to use Varka primarily, but they could have given him a teammate, considering his whole, like, niche is having a different element. This is kind of weird. Alright, gonna break into... Okay, no, he's using Wolf's Gravestone, new set. That is so sad that they decided to made his birthday purposely a week before, so that we wouldn't have birthday mailing on. Apparently they've been doing that a lot recently, but I didn't even notice that. So someone pointed it out on Twitter.
Stormwind! Without the ray here of Solnari to direct them, it seems like all that's left is their primal urge to destroy.
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able to deal with what's left.
Just like I thought. What we should be wary of now is...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be just up ahead.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard. Leave the rest to me.
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
Oh.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now?
Feels like they should give it another.
I was planning to take a look around here myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago?
I totally thought they'd have more to talk about based off my experiences with Wuwa and ZZZ, but okay, good.
Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are 2 other places to check. Maybe this will all go smoothly after all. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better to go by...
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity.
Oh.
Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
What a cool design.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight.
Oh, what a way to start. To those who embark in the expedition. Are we cutting back to Traveler?
That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stock up on wine for the celebrations. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to make sure no one's regressed. P.P.S.
P.P.S.
I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
That's all.
That's all.
Everyone gets one? Wow! Sir Writes-A-Lot is really living up to his name.
I like how
I
everyone
guess the
gathered
Grand
to read
Master must have
different
something
letters.
specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Aw.
Jean? Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel's Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
Paimon bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter? And these other two as well!
Really? Oh, that would be a great help, thank you.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters. You've had a long journey. Please go get some rest.
Great, but I won't be resting just yet. I have one last letter to deliver to Wolvendom. And this one, I was planning on delivering personally. I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas's trial. Well, with any luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well, but please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
Goodbye. His hair is so messy. Clearly, something's bothering Jean. I should talk to her before going to Angel Share. Already a half hour in because of my Traveler's Tales. Oh, can I skip? Talk to Noelle. Is that part of the quest? Oh no, yeah, everyone's here.
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my recent assessments. I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the middle of an expedition.
Oh.
So, Honorary Knight, if you have the time, do you think you could help me out with my special training?
I think Noelle was one of the first hangouts, and therefore one of the few ones I actually did, and hers is actually pretty cute, especially for how early on in the game it was. Man, when we were still doing hangouts, the last one was Lynette's, I want to say, and that was like very end of Fontaine.
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before. When the time comes, you'd better keep an eye on him for me.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again until he's finished dealing with every last one.
Oh, no.
On another note, have you spoken to Jean? I hope she'll finally be able to relax a little once Varka returns.
Nope, more paperwork. Alright, got Noelle, Eula, Lisa, anyone else? Looks like that's everyone. I'll do another quick sweep. Unless they're in Imaginary Infuriator, which I doubt. You're an NPC. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to check real quick. Yeah, while I'm here. I doubt it? Yep, just as empty because I have not done any progress here because I'm like, no thank you. That makes sense. They're out in the main hall.
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just handle the ones for the Angel Share.
The expedition is finally wrapping up. Oh, I hope the maps I made on our way there are good enough to get them safely home.
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the Boom Blossom Bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know if we've made any more.
Uncle Varka's coming home? Yay! I can't wait to go outside and play with him!
Of course, Clee's in solitary confinement. I think that's it, because yeah, that also just leads to the library, and there's still nothing upstairs to my... if my memory serves correctly, which is so sad for being, like, again, it's a 1.0 area, but, like, So it's been 5 years. I think it's about the same for Dawn Winery. Yeah, literal invisible wall. So sad. Alright. Yeah, can't do anything else to... Yeah, no. Okay. Into Jean's office. Or the Grandmaster's office, rather.
Honorary Knight, you're still here?
I'm setting off shortly, but what's on your mind?
Is it that obvious?
Uh-huh.
Huh? But Varka's coming back. The situation in Nokrai is stable. Surely things are looking up.
What was in your letter?
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, the expedition has indeed accomplished its strategic objectives. It seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North, be they the Wild Hunt or the Doctor. And yet, for some reason, I can't help but recall something the Grandmaster said to me before he left.
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong? Well, there's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. This is all just a contingency plan in the event that I'm unable to return. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did. But he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned him the wolf spirit's recognition. When the old aristocracy tried to regain power, Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation within the Knights of Favonius.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfenden?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. In the end, he chose to allow his power to become one with the land. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but Nodcry.
Huh?
Could it be?
The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all nowadays. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even among the Knights of Favonius, few are aware of it. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the Four Winds among the people of Mondstadt. You experienced the turmoil caused by Dvalin the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my concern?
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was worried about?
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the Calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions.
I'll better always be overprepared than caught off guard.
Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for every possible contingency. Even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action, I'm sure the Grandmaster is relieved to know that it's in place.
The music kind of just ends abruptly.
Thank you for being such a patient listener. I feel much more settled after talking with you. If you have any spare time, would you mind stopping off to say hello to the other knights? I'm sure they have all missed our honorary knight just as much as I have.
I'm guessing this is your cue to talk to everyone else for the optional dialogue.
Okay, we'll deliver.
The expedition.
Makes sense. I'm glad that the Gene dialogue wasn't optional, because obviously that will be very important to what happens next, I'm sure. Nope, that turned into a pretty long conversation. I should probably go deliver those letters to Angel Share now. I don't know why I'm not voiced.
Wait. Huh? No.
Either a bug or...
whatever.
What happens if I go in and out? Maybe they'll reset it. Nope, Paimon's just doesn't want to be voiced. Hello? Is there other invisible walls? Seriously, why is the missing person poster first instead of the tavern?
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
They really need to update his model. That's so sad.
Hiya, Rosaria! Diluc! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon, what brings you our way?
Have a letter.
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what? What's this about?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened, and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details. There's clearly more to it.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no purpose.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then. But my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said, but don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell.
They're not arguing, they just have different ways of protecting those around them.
Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh? Traveler?
I wonder if that's exactly what Varka was hoping for them to, like, renew their desires and wishes to protect everyone. Like, remind them of what they were, why they set out on their paths, and hope that they are invigorated, I guess, to keep following their own path.
My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
Where did Rosaria go?
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
Oh, okay.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
I wouldn't call it an argument. Different ideas, perhaps.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his letters then?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome Diluc back. There are people like Kaya and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second was the case I was alluding to.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait, and then we got caught up talking about the expedition, and we never got around to the second time.
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started
Direction is
yammering
really
on.
odd here. It sounds like she's almost
The
like trying to
second
shout.
crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was
Feels very
500 years ago. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight? That sounds a little ominous.
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight. But he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Blood-Stained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know you're not alone. After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland.
Shall we go get answers straight from the horses or Wolf's mouth? We can meet up with Lohan and Wolf and them while we're at it.
That's a great idea! Jean said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go!
Adastra Abisoski.
Oh, did I even talk to Kaya? Oh, I guess I was supposed to talk to Kaya first.
What should I report back to the Grand Master on? Let me think. Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review of the latest vintages. I think I'll leave it at that.
thing. I brought my lunar team.
Surge. Out of my way! Our bond is strong. Again.
Forest, protect us.
Here you are.
Oh, where'd my energy go?
With one heart, we pray.
A new moon rises. Wane.
Dissipate.
A process of elimination.
Sailor, something nearby.
Oh no! What now? There better not be more wild hunt monsters!
What's up?
You scared Paimon stiff! She thought you were...
Stop right there. Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
You gave us 3 letters.
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
Straight question.
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Wait, what are you trying to say, huh? Huh?
He's saying you passed the test, you smarty pants.
Paimon passed a test? Really? Huh! She didn't even realize she was taking one!
That's such a Paimon thing to say. Oops, sorry. That's a beautiful screenshot.
You may dispense with your suspicions. The Wolfpack has borne witness. They fought against the aberrations that encroached upon this land. And our attackers showed no ability to disguise themselves this time. A familiar scent. Come. I will await you at the usual grounds.
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now.
Yeah, you should.
Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand a chance.
Okay, buddy.
Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on. You should check on him.
Very ominous. Am I gonna need, was it pyro and, well, I guess I don't need pyro, just not animo and cryo.
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so weak? Am I not strong enough?
You are not to blame. With your Iron Claw, you successfully blocked their attacks. However, their assault went beyond the mere physical world. They followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect. But I shall not let them succeed without a fight. We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying that the wild hunt we just got attacked by came all the way from Nodcry to Mondstadt? How is that even possible?
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andrias' soul. The source of this turmoil. I can sense it. It lies in the north. It is the part of me that remains in Nodcry, from whence I came.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can he be in two places at once?
Are all gods like this? You all like to split yourselves in multiple parts?
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andrias, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day.
Huh? The bard's back?
Tone Deaf Bard? What are you doing here?
Maybe the god of Animo guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past. And our wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on recounting it himself. Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas, do I have your blessing to share this story?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Seelie Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn's starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south. As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a night stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Seelie Hall, and awoke him at long last. The night asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo, and remarked, "So, this is the world the humans dreamed of." Though the night's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt,
You need not feel remorse on my account. That was my answer, my decision. If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Notcry. I fear Andrias has not found peace in his heart even to this day. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness, sowing the seeds of all the turbulence that has ensued.
but we followed Boreas' trail in Nodcry. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability.
Andreas should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in Nodcry has had unforeseen consequences. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley lines. A scent that reeks of blood.
And could it be Roland the Bloodstained Knight, who we just learned about?
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he from 500 years ago? You think he's immortal or something?
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. But before he severed his connection to Boreas, his final destination, it was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that, I know not if he lived or died.
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nodcry yourselves.
Back to Nodcry.
As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him nicely, he might give you a lift. That could save you a lot of time on the road.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the east wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nodcry must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it.
Varka? Is he in danger?
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with perhaps a diminutive companion.
All right, wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strongest warrior to fight Nodcry's battles. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt. It'll be a good chance to try out some new moves.
I stay in Mondstadt too. With Traveler's help, Varka will be safe.
Razor, give me your iron claw.
You mean...
Golden-haired traveler. Give this token to the current knight of Boreas.
We just stripped Razor of his sword? Okay.
It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts. Though I have given him a piece before, this should bring him new strength.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. They would descend into chaos. To prevent the entanglement of souls, the most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts within claws and fangs wrought of steel. Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is the thoughts within. But I shall leave this for him to explain.
Is it safe to separate a piece of the wolf spirit at a time like this?
The Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now. Besides, do I not have the protection of my Lupacol?
I will protect Lupacol. The North and Varka, I leave to you.
Okay.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready.
This feels like a good stopping point, but also not much has happened. So I'm a little,
I sure didn't expect my experience fighting the wild-hunted Nodcry to come in handy back here in Mondstadt. Almost makes me wonder if this was the reason I was sent back.
Maybe.
Also, how come that bard knows so much, and what was he doing at the Thousand Winds Temple? Well, whatever. I don't really care. As long as I get to do some fighting. I'm looking forward to trading blows with Lupus Boreas when he's fully recovered. I bet he'll wipe the floor with me.
Why do you sound excited by that? You're kind of weird and creepy.
I can read Varka's letter. I will try my best to write a reply.
A wolf's claws make poor instruments for writing human words. But that token will suffice to convey my thoughts.
Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nodcry. The root of this turmoil lies with the remnant soul that Andrius, dominator of wolves and god of the North Wind, left in Nodcry. He once left Nodcry and braved the blizzards to confront the god of storms and claim the right to rule. Yet even as the tower fell, he chose to abandon his claim. Instead, he returned to the north and slumbered for 1,000 years before finally journeying back, under the name of Boreas, with the first Knight of Boreas to witness the new face of Mondstadt. When the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form, Boreas chose to pour his power into the ley lines. With that, he became the North Wind of Mondstadt, as he is still known to this day. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. 500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest Knight of Boreas ever to have lived. But he was too pure of heart. He believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had never been perfect and pure, nor would it ever be. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Perhaps you will uncover the truth in Nodcry. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably... The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andrius is a master of molding and shaping it. His people once drew great strength and wisdom from the wolf spirit. But human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. Attempting to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour their sense of self, even if Lupus Boreas did not intend for that to happen. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human Lupical with the wolf spirit's protection. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship turned divine. Twixt man and wolf a bond was made, a power born within the blade. As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, but keep that little observation between us, will you? Any questions before you set off? Better at... All right. Over to you, Dvalin.
Do we actually get it? No. No cutscene. Well, we might get a cutscene after this loading screen, but kind of doubt it. I'll probably stop the recording after whatever happens next, after we touch down. Yeah, so far a lot of setup, good character interactions, sprinkling some lore. About what I expected. Oh. Where are we? Oh, okay.
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
Okay.
Alright! Hey, wait! How are we getting down?
Gravity. That just looks so silly. Oh, okay. I was like, where are we landing? Oh, we're landing on top of Varka. Got it.
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Have you guys been fighting the whole time?
Grandmaster! It's
a bird, it's a plane.
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
Random Dendro traveler. Honorary Knight, reporting for duty, Grandmaster.
I'm on too!
We're just about hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight? What will it be, mightiest knight of Boreas?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces gathered by the Rahir of Solnari. But they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. This is fair. This is the way of chivalry. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right the injustices of this world. In the name of the blood-stained knight.
Guess they're retreating for now.
So that Wolf of the North lookalike, that was Andreas? But why would he be leading the Wild Hunt? And why was he talking about the Bloodstained Knight? Ugh, forget that. We can save the details for later. He was the enemy boss, right? Are we just gonna let him get away?
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we could do about him.
Why? As strong as he might look, surely he can't be any stronger than the foes we fought before.
True. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by the Abyss or a legendary knight, killing him might be just about possible, especially now that you're here. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you mean? Is he immortal or something?
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the Five Sinners. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nodcry to his advantage. Particularly when it comes to Andreas' remnant soul.
So what you're worried about isn't so much the enemy himself, but the god remains.
Exactly. Sounds like you realize what the crux of the issue is. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak.
Oh yeah, they're still here.
Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. Let's discuss this further when they're back. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory.
Well, we better get to it soon. I think your Mondstadt event is starting in a few days. Hey, I spy Yehoda. Okay, cool. Seems like we're getting a lot of still Nodcry characters now that we've... Oh. The meeting's probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go chat with them? Random Paimon not being voiced in the overworld.
Hey, good to see you again. Oh, Boss Sneff asked me to pass on a message. She went to see Lauma and Columbina at the Frostmoon Scions. Apparently, there haven't been any changes to that space the Rahir of Solnari's in.
That means the recent wild hunt attacks have nothing to do with Riri, right? Whew, that's a relief. Paimon doesn't fancy facing him again.
They're keeping a close watch on it just in case. With so many moon experts on the case, we're in pretty safe hands, huh? Oh yeah, Lauma and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. Focus on the enemy you are facing. The moon will protect you all.
Aww.
Huh, you know something? These Knights of Favonius are paying me a pretty nice sum to deliver a few simple messages. Oh, Varka's a generous guy.
I don't think you'll have anything
Hey,
else. Nope, okay.
she went to see.
That means
They're
Just thought I'd
keeping.
check.
Oh yeah. Huh, you
Yeah, probably a good stopping point coming up. Oh. I like that there. You can't really miss them.
Short distance propulsion module on cooldown. 15 minutes until next departure. Switching to chat mode. Hello there, Paimon, traveler.
What you doing?
Varka placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop. I know is hard at work producing the strategic reserve, while I am handling the deliveries. Secondly, I am also here to attend the meeting in her place.
Aww.
Huh? Flins! Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep would be Itlua or Nikita.
Who's Nikita?
You're quite right. However, Itlua and Nikita are both busy organizing the Ratniki's region-wide response to the recent attacks. And since I'm well acquainted with everyone else here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting.
Oh, so you don't even want to be here.
Sometimes you don't get a choice when there might be consequences down the line.
True.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like pretty much everyone's here. Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? That works too. All right. You keep gathering intel.
It's nice to give you the option to pause. I don't think anyone else is here. Right? Joan Nicole hiding in the corner. No. You guys have dialogue? Nope. You two. Like, we got a sizable Nodcry cast. We can finally let them do stuff and have some lines. Alright, for real, last cutscene. Last dialogue.
Hey, Honorary. Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their... Great. While we're waiting, could you update me on the situation in Mondstadt?
I mean, not too much happened. After updating Varka, situation Mondstadt, main relationship between God of Northwind, Bloodstained Knights, the attendees.
And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Riri resides. What we are facing here is a completely new foe.
Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf. Andrius, god of the North Wind.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andrius' spirit, namely Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I'm completely lost. Isn't Roland some Mondstadter from like 500 years ago? How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past and the present-day Wild Hunt?
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, When the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
So not the real Roland, but an imitation.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Barrier's overwhelming power, nor his ability to disguise himself as others. So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power.
The replica corrupted and took control of Andreas as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so, remains unclear.
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodcry somehow during his wanderings through Tevat. But we can keep those questions on the back burner.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him right now?
We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals.
Like when the tower found Stormtrooper's lair, or when humans start to assault beneath Salteray. Both super early version 1.x quest, by the way. Goodness.
Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years.
Yeah, like the Tatarogami on Yashiori Island and Tatarsuna. I think I said that decently
This
well.
land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'd be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of gods dying naturally with no ill effects. In Natlan, the passing of the Pyro Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has experienced death once before, has he not?
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Please, present it now. It should help explain things faster. Come forth, Boreas!
This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany you no further on your journey. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Perhaps this is all that a wolf can hope to do for humankind. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. Instead, remember that one day, your wandering too must come to an end. Where and when shall that be? A final wish before I slumber. Sing me a song. That melody you so often hummed in the taverns.
Yeah, what was that?
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas's final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt from harm.
Sounds like Andrea spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world, too.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andrias' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
To merge himself with the ley lines.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me.
Wait, we already have a perfect solution? Then why are we even having this meeting? Let's go do this thing!
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andrias' heart. We need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't afford to send us any more of his power. However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Knight of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments? But they could be anywhere between Nodcry and Mondstadt. It'll be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Nodcry, but apart from that, most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition.
Huh? Wait, really?
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the Abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you foresaw the future.
What?
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends. Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. But anything that proved useful, we knew we'd be grateful for down the line.
Sure enough, proving useful.
Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nodcry, and use them to make the thought within this sword as strong as it can possibly be. According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the Wolf Spirit fragments. We now know there are 3 left to find.
Okay, so 3 more mini expeditions to go.
I managed to gather 1 fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second, which I'll take care of in short order. As for the 3rd fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on, but we'll need all hands on deck to pinpoint the exact location.
Wow, made a lot of progress already. Good.
The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andrias' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal. So everyone needs to bring their A game.
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstadters to defeat him.
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any way we can.
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it though. I mean, who actually reads those things anyway, right?
Most relatable character into that.
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Yehoda.
I guess this is what happens when Nefer and Columbian and Llama are kind of busy.
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the wild hunt and the shadow of an ancient god. I'm impressed by your courage, Miss Yehoda.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second wolf spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with Fragment 3, be sure to give me an update. Traveler, could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution might come in handy.
I was just about to ask what my job was. I'll follow your lead, Grandmaster.
All right. Time is of the essence. Let's move out, people. Dismissed!
Speaking of contingency plans, I now recall that Varka also made a contingency plan when he asked me to deliver that letter. Perhaps I should ask Aino to prepare some additional backup modules for me.
Remnant fragments of an ancient god. Thoughts stored inside a blade. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I suspect there is more to Mr. Varka's plan than what he's revealed to us so far. Then again, the enemy can harness the Wild Hunt to spy on us wherever we go. As our commander, I'm sure he has his reasons for choosing not to tell us everything. Remnant fragments of an... Then again, the enemy can harm...
Yehoda, you dummy! You took the stupid job of your own free will! Crying isn't gonna get you out of it!
I thought I'd see Durin or Albedo here, but I guess they went and left. So, okay, we're gonna pause here and then continue on afterwards, probably after I eat lunch. Yeah, alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully, this will probably be like 2 to 3 parts. I'm planning on finishing this before the event, so maybe I'll throw in a Traveler's Tale or 2 if I somehow don't record later today. Anyway, thanks for watching, bye-bye.